People want to know if the real estate market is crashing. So we started in Southern California, now we're in Northern California, and soon we'll be going to Salt Lake, Texas, Florida. We'll be going to different parts of the country to figure it out. Today, you're going to see if the market is indeed crashing in October of 2023 in Northern California. We're about halfway between San Francisco and Sacramento. Let's figure it out. So how do I like to start off my comparisons? I'm going to start by looking at a house that's on the market that's sitting. Here's a property that looks like it's got a newer roof. It's just been flip remodeled, or at least it looks that way. It looks gorgeous. Everything about it looks great. You know what doesn't look great is the fact that it just had a $100,000 price cut. Now, I'm not interested in buying in this area. It's a little too expensive for me, but I want to know what different markets are doing. This is up between San Francisco and Sac, as we talked about. This is listed for $899,000 at 1,500 square feet, and it's a 4 and 2. Let's now take a peek around the market. It's nice. We don't see any people parking on lawns or driveways. Every house looks relatively well maintained. We have a little bit of busy road noise here, but now let's go look at some comps and understand what's going on with this market. So the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to go look at a June comp that's sold nearby. And let's see which one's better. Now, this one's not quite as, oh my gosh, it's a flip when you walk up. But when you look at the pictures of this one, you see it actually doesn't look that bad. And this one has an edge to it. It's actually next to this gorgeous park and doesn't have that street noise. So I would much prefer this house at about 90 square feet smaller because I'm next to the park. I mean, this is like an extended backyard for your children. This is actually a huge park. This is beautiful. This probably adds $20,000 of value, in my opinion. But anyway, this property sold for $858,000 in June. Now, the other one's listed for $899. Now, the one at $899 isn't selling at $899. It should be, based on this comp, worth about $879. But now what I could say is, if the other one, that flip-looking one, sells for less than $879, which what I've done is I've added $20K for this park, right? And a little bit for the square footage. If that sells for less than $879, I know the market's softening, but I'm not convinced that it's crashing yet. I need some pending sales. Let's go to another one, and we're gonna write that one down as a comp we're gonna track. That $899 one, if it sells for more than $879, great, no crash. If I look in 2 months and it sold for $800, got a big problem. Now, the one by the park, something else you gotta know, because we're about to comp to this neighborhood, and I'm trying to understand, $858 seemed like a really good deal. So I'm digging a little deeper, I'm like, it's actually a May sale. Even though it closed escrow June 13th, it went pending in May. So that tells me the appetite of the market in May. It doesn't tell me much about the market now, unless we went up in the summer and right back down. And that could be the feeling of a potential crash. So now I'm looking for evidence that's more recent, because I know we have low numbers in the spring, or lower numbers in the spring. I know we've got somebody asking $899. So what am I doing? I'm bracketing, right? I know $899 for these 3-4 bedroom, 1,500-ish square foot homes is too high because it's not selling. I know that $799 was really low then. Now I'm going to go to a pending comp, which is in this neighborhood. But this neighborhood's 15 years older. You could see we've got an older home here, we got the power lines, we got a property that looks like maybe it was flipped over here, but the one we care about is actually right here. Now, this property's pending. It was listed for $790. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, $790, that seems really low, especially if the other one just sold for $858. So, older neighborhood, about the same size home otherwise, 3-2, 1,500 square feet. It went pending. So I called the agent. Oh, $790. We get close to list. Where are we? We're roughly around $825 to $830 on this. Now that's interesting. $825, $830, 15-year-old neighborhood, older neighborhood, not next to that nice park, kind of aligns with the May pricing. So what's fascinating is I don't know anything about this market, but I'm already learning that my May pricing is similar now to my October market. This one's getting multiple offers because it was listed low. This is where people go, oh, multiple offers, everything's skyrocketing. No, it's actually aligning with May sales. But there were July sales in the 900s. Okay, well, let's go look at the 900s and see if they had like gold windows or something like that. Let's go find out. Now, this neighborhood's pretty nice, okay? This is a newer neighborhood from that last one that we saw. We don't have the power lines. What's crazy though is this is a July sale, and this July sale sold for $938,000 with dated bathrooms. Now it's nice on the inside, but very similar to that first $899 neighborhood or that second one where we're by the park. Very similar, you know, the power lines. It's a nice neighborhood, but sold for $930,000. Right now we're looking at comps of maybe we're selling for $830 to $850. That's not good. Is there another comp that's showing us we had a hot summer in the July season? Let's go see. Another 1950s neighborhood here, but we're closer to some of the shopping. We're only about 2 minutes of a drive from the last house where we were. This house sold for $980,000 in the summer. Now, even if we give this a massive adjustment for just being a few streets closer to the shopping center here, what we're finding is if current values for 3242s, right around 1,500 square feet, a couple streets that way, are sitting around $830, $840, $850, like the one by the park, and that one at $899 isn't selling, we're probably seeing a variation from the summer here of somewhere between 7 to 8%. That's 7 to 8% decline just from the summer. Now that could be selling season, but let's put it this way. It doesn't look like prices are dropping off a cliff yet. The question now is going to be, what are those active listings going to sell for? We know we're propped up by the pending sales. We know we're not $790 because we were getting multiple offers at $790, pulling us into that $825 to $830 region. If we're closer to these, hey, maybe that's going to push us into the $880 because we're closer to the shopping. Still not a $980, but it's also not really anything more than a 7 to maybe as much of a 10% correction going in through the season. We're not seeing a big giant drop off the cliff yet. We haven't seen it in SoCal. We're not seeing it now in this part of NorCal. Now we're going to go to some different markets and continue evaluating. Then what we're going to do is we're going to keep tracking our tracker comps, and we'll see when some of these active comps actually sell. If they sell really low and we're starting to get 15, 20% declines, it's going to be a sign that maybe we're starting to hit some real pain. And those are opportunities. And if you want an opportunity to invest in HouseHack, remember, our investing round ends for 2023, November 1st. So go to househack.com to learn more. This is the kind of work that we do when we do our due diligence on properties, find our wedge deals, then we buy, renovate, renovating properties people can't otherwise live in. We bring them to the rental market. We bring supply to the market. And then with our mini funds, we hope to create delicious cash flow for our investors. Knock on wood, no guarantees. Read the offering circular and the solicitation at househack.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next location.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Which I say, yes, meet Kevin.
Where does this mean we are in the economic cycle? Should we be thinking about buying real estate? Should we be thinking about buying stocks? I have a background in real estate as a real estate agent, real estate broker, real estate investor, a stock market investor, and fund manager.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here?
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Always great to have you on. Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber, Meet Kev.